Hey, what's going on? I'm going to scooch you guys around because you're a little lopsided today. What's going on? All right. Hey, welcome. I'm Sandra Funk. This is Design Sips. I think it's Wednesday. I think it's time for us to drink. Who wants to have some champagne and talk about the business of design? It has been quite a week, people. So, hello. So good to see you. Hi, everybody. What's going on? Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get this foil off. All right, so while I open champagne, let me tell you what we're gonna chat about today on Design Sips. I have Sara Lynn Brennan as a guest on my show, and Sara Lynn Brennan is a dear friend as well as a co-author in Luann Nigara's upcoming book, Power Talk Friday Experts Volume 2. I might need my wine opener. Don't go anywhere. Okay, you know when you just, oh, there it is. You know when you like leave your live and you just go get the wine opener because you can't get the champagne cover off?
That's the beauty of live.
And it's not Design Sips unless we're sipping on something. And it's way past coffee time, people. All right, so let me introduce you guys to Sara Lynn Brennan. I am doing a Design Sips episode with every one of my co-authors in the book, and I'm so excited because you are going to get to know all of these incredible people, as well as I'm going to have Luann on this Friday. So I know Design Sips is usually on a Wednesday, but you know, sometimes we show up on random times. Speaking of random, what is my earring doing? Today is really, it's my special day. Okay, all right. Let me introduce to you Sara Lynn Brennan. She is an entrepreneur, CEO, and principal designer at Sara Lynn Brennan Interiors. Sara has become the first and only, I love it, that is so, I love that you have it only, the first and only full-service interior design firm in Waxhaw, North Carolina, who specializes in transitional designs, where she and her design build team take spaces from bare bones to beautiful by utilizing her exclusive, approachable, and stress-free design process, transforming and renovating homes from start to finish. I love that. Sara, let's see what we've got. All right, let's get Sara on here. Now, I am doing a thing.
No, the other one.
The other thing.
Yes, and then look for Sarah's name.
All right, Sara, let me get you on here. Goodness, Sarah Harris is here with me because
we're learning and teaching.
It's all the things. All right. In the meantime, Sara Lynn. Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Oh.
How are you? Can you see me?
I can. I just popped the champagne in your honor.
Nice.
Let us.
Nice.
We're
Cheers.
pouring a little bubbly. Cheers. All right. So, how are you?
I'm great. How's it going? I think I need to wipe my camera on my phone. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
There. Oh,
You gotta love the lives.
how's it going?
All right. It's going. It's been quite a week, love. We just closed the standard and open enrollment and dropped content, and it's like I said, it's been a week.
Do that.
Thank you.
A million people signing up to take your business.
We have a great crew. We're really excited. We're such great designers from all over the world this time. Just it's a good gig.
You're crushing. You're killing it.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. And it's all about just running a better business. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I took it. I don't know if everybody knows that I went through it, and amazing. We still reference it all the time.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's so good. So tell me, let's go back and do your story, okay? So I know you are a career change designer.
Totally.
So tell me where you were and what made you switch, and tell us your story.
Yeah, I was a middle and high school biology teacher I have my degree in biology and a master's in education, and I thought I was going to teach. And then I had kids, and I realized that I didn't think I could do the teaching thing and the parenting thing all that well. Teaching takes up a lot of time, and the trade-off pay wise was like daycare was what I was being paid here in North
Yeah.
Carolina. So it didn't make a lot of sense. So I stayed home, and I got bit by the entrepreneurial bug, and started doing little things here and there. And so then we moved. I had a second baby, and we moved to our grown-up house, that I called it at the time. And so it was my first bout with like custom furniture and like, big kid furniture. And so I kind of delved into the world a little bit, and we had my daughter's first birthday party, and a bunch of people came over and were like, wow, this is great. And I was like, thanks. And one of the girls happened to be a photographer, and she said, I want to get into shooting homes. So can I do yours? And I was like, well, that's cool. Sure. So long story short, we did that, and we ended up getting that into a magazine. And from there, people were like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I was doing like floral arrangements at first. So it was like, my love for greenery and stuff shows through. But at the time I was doing like wreaths and arrangements. And so then you know how it happens. People are like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And then from there, it just was like, I started getting projects. And my first year was not great. I ended up kind of having an aha moment with Luann actually midway through that year, and realized things had to change. And that's a lot of like what my chapter in her book is going to be about, is like having that moment and being introduced to systems in a way that made sense to me and why I needed them. And so I changed everything, because it was either like quit. It's kind of like your moment where you were like balled up on the floor.
Exactly. Curl up under my desk going, I'm done.
Yeah.
Working me. Yeah. Definitely.
Looked at my numbers. I was like, this is a lot of work for not a lot of money. And so that's when I started to change the way I did everything, and all of it started to come together. And when I created packages, and when I implemented flat fees, and when I did all of that back end, painstaking work, it pays off over and over again. So it's really just grown. It'll be 3 years next month that I've had my business.
Awesome. I mean, seriously, the path that you have forged in 3 years is truly incredible. Truly. It's just great.
Well, I've had a lot of good mentors helping me.
Yeah, it's good. Such good stuff. And I sincerely think that it's so key to go and seek out someone to learn from, and go and seek out a way to kind of get to the next level instead of just toiling along alone. It's very unfun.
Yeah, unfun is the word. Yes, for sure. Unfun and unmoney making.
Yes, all the things. And I would say we're getting kind of some feedback. Is it something we can fix, Sarah?
Yeah. Sarah, is your hand on the bottom of your phone by chance?
That is. I don't have a good. Let me see if I can rearrange here a little bit.
Sorry, I'm trying to think if we can just keep the sound. Got it?
Let me see if I can fix that. There. Is that any better? No, I think
that's better. Thanks,
okay.
John. Thank you. It took me a long time to find my person, and to find a mentor, and to find that conversation. And I remember I tell the story. I invited a bunch of local designers over to like sit on my little screen porch and have lunch and chat. And some of them wouldn't even come because they thought they were fraternizing. How do you say that word? Anyway, fraternizing with the enemy. And others came, and they just sat there like tight-lipped. And it wasn't like I was trying to say like, give me all your best sources, but it was just like I did not understand that competitive instead of collaborative outlook. And so it took a long time before I found my tribe, as we call it.
Well, yeah, I remember I've told the story before, but I was putting away Christmas decorations on my front porch with my kids, and I was listening to Luann's podcast, and I heard your episode number, I think it's 2. And you were the first time anybody had ever explained how the process worked that made sense. And it was just in that like 30 minutes that I had been listening that I was like, oh my God, I get it. Like there was just so many light bulbs that nobody was willing to share. And and I'd been in the realm for about 4 months at that time. So it wasn't like I'd been at it for too long, right. But it was something that like immediately, like when I kind of got your energy towards the way you approach your projects and the way you approach other designers, it was like And I met you at market shortly after that, and you were like a celebrity. You are a celebrity.
Stop.
So. I think we got a little boomerang video after.
We do, and we were doing like little. Yes, I have that. I know that video. I know
Yeah.
that was what at least 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, had to have been. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe 2.5. I think it was an April market because I usually don't do fall. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, to get back to market. I can't wait until we can get back to market.
I know.
Right?
We're going, but it's not going to, like, there's no networking. There's no alcohol. There's no.
Right.
Like,
what's the point? But see, yeah, and I was going and I was going and I was going and I finally I did cancel because just the idea that it's going to be, you know, and I get it. I totally understand, but to be masked on even outside, you know, even when you're in open air environments, and it's not going to be hugging and seeing people and reuniting because it's all this stuff, and it just hurts my heart. I'd rather sit here, honestly, and this is weird, but I'd rather sit here with you and make eye contact over Zoom than be in a mask and try to
and read facial expressions.
Yeah, and try to tell you that how happy I am to see you without my smile. Like, it just seems
Yeah, and without hugging and all of that stuff. I actually said the same thing last night. Renee from Fabric Shield, she's like, do you think it'll be a good turnout? And I said, honestly, I feel like the virtual tours you'll get will be just as good as, you know, anything you see in real life.
Yep, I agree. I think it's the kind of thing. It's a little bit of a shift, and you know, I hope people go, and I hope it's amazing. I just know for me, it would have taken me away from a daughter's birthday and like a lot.
Yeah.
Like fall's always a hard time for me to travel because it always overlaps. So all right, back to more stuff. So tell us, okay, in your bio, you talk about a stress-free process. How can designers make sure their clients are at ease through the project?
Well, because we've mapped it out and we know exactly what's going to happen in the exact amount of time. We've already budgeted for the cost of it all. They pay up front. And, you know, a line that I feel like maybe I picked up from you or anybody, or I don't know if I made it up or what, but I'm pretty sure you said that clients like to budget us in and move on with life. And they really, really do. So you have those conversations up front. You develop your scope up front. You develop your letter of agreement. You have your process. So you're really excited about starting the project. You're not in any uncertainty when that happens. So then it's just a matter of following the path from start to finish. And they know that they're in good hands because you can show them how it's going to happen and give them those dates. Something we learned from the standard is we schedule all of our meetings on the letter of agreement day or before, so we know when our concept's going to be, we know when our design plan presentation is going to be, we know when we're going to have our style session, and all of those meetings where we need both decision makers there, they're scheduled on day one because our ideal client is two busy working parents. So we know they're busy, and we know we need to get on their calendar at least 4 to 6 to 8 weeks in advance. So all of that just gives them the peace of mind that you can hand over your project to us and we know what we're doing. It's not our first time and you're in good hands.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. We talk about all the time that, you know, you want to shock and awe them with beauty, not with, financial requirements that they didn't know were coming, you know, like that is not where you want the surprises to be. You want the surprises to be in like the level of quality, you know, and all the extra. So such good stuff.
And something we love is like when we get to that final presentation, we've already established the budget. We've already, you know, had all of those conversations. So now we can say, sit back and enjoy the pretty. Like, if you love this, it's yours. You don't have to, there's no surprise at the end that's like, and for $5,000 extra, this can all be yours. And now we got to pick and choose what we want to compromise on. It's yours. If we did the work on the front end to know how to come in at budget when it mattered.
Yeah, so good. And that's the educated process, right? If you are having that education up front and you know what a project is going to entail financially way before it started,
Yeah.
you make that decision once, you know?
Yeah.
I was like liken it to the engagement ring, right? It's a painful purchase. You suck it up, you do it once, but every time you look at your beautiful ring, you're not looking at dollar signs. You're enjoying the memories and you're remembering the excitement with which you went into that big purchase, you know? And that's what you want them to feel about having just hired a designer. You want it to be a kind of, you know, a significant, it's expensive. It's so time consuming to do interior design. So you want it to be a carefully considered big purchase, but then you want it to be about the memory of, I deserve this. I've earned this. I've worked hard and I can spend this money to make my home beautiful, to make memories in, you know, all the things, and not constantly be reminding them with the dripping, you know, hourly fees.
Yeah, totally. And it's sickening to send them. You send them off, no matter what day you send them, you're always waiting for that like harsh email to come back. And you almost got to like plan that into your life, that anxiety. And so it's just like, it's just so nice because honestly, we budget for even accessories before, you know, we close on the deal. So we only collect payment once for design fee, once for furnishings and accessories, and that's it. Our process, they have to pay the contractors on their own separately because we don't have a GC in our house. But it's 2 payments to do the whole thing, and a lot of pushback on that from other designers who are like, they can't do that up front. They can.
They can.
And if they can't, then they should wait until they can.
Yeah. and or use a credit card, you know, like it's whatever. But you're not the bank. And so the idea that you're this far into the project and they're still trying to figure out their cash flow, that's not an ideal client, right? Like scale the scope down, get it figured out. But like, I don't want a client that can't do that payment up front. That's not who we want to be working with. That's dangerous. You know, you can really be left holding the bag. Life is unpredictable. We've learned that, if nothing else, in the past 6 months. And you don't want to own a warehouse full of furniture if something in your client's life changes.
No, there's just no way. And we don't even like blink at it. Like, you pay here. And they're just like, okay, like literally the same thing you would do if you walked up to buy milk at the grocery store and be like, I want this milk. And they'd be like, okay, it's whatever it is. And you move on. You don't say, I'm going to pay for half now and then I drink half. I'm going to come pay for half.
And I'll tell you if I like it and if I think it's worth that. Maybe I'll haggle a bit. That's the other thing. No, that whole constantly feeling like you're defending your value is just over. And of course, you're always bringing your A game. You're always reselling yourself to your clients. You're always reconfirming the design at delivery. You know, that's normal. That's, you know, you're selling until you are done on that final day, of course. But you're not defensively, you know, like retaliating a bill. You know, like it's not that uncomfortable, tough on the relationship kind of stuff.
No, it just becomes about facts. You know, if you want this custom piece, then it's going to cost you twice as much as if I get you something that's, you know, a ready ship or something. But that's okay. You know, maybe that's what you need. But it just becomes, what do you want and how can I help you pull it together? And you know, what level of involvement do you watch? And sometimes it's has to do with what service is right for them. So you focus primarily on your luxury full service, you know, multiple room, whole home type client. But we also have those packages that are the smaller scale projects. And really it comes down to, we follow the same process in each one of our packages. We just stop at different points. So our DIY, we stop at concept. Our design plan, we stop at design plan. The opportunity to buy the furnishings through us is still there. So I'm not sending them to retail. Like, no, I consider myself kind of a retailer. Why would I send them to the Pottery Barns of the world when I can sell them the same damn thing? So we have that there, but it's the quality, like it's a case good in the DIY option. So we're not going to have to spend a lot of time procuring. We just order it and it comes in. So I think it's just, you know, figuring out the level of investment of time and budget from the client, and then finding a way to make that work.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's so great. And I love that the way you have your program set up, they can continue to upgrade through the process. And I think that's great, and it's normal for, like, you start out and you build trust and then it grows. You know, a lot of times our clients will start with 3 rooms and then they keep going, or they do their due diligence, you know, they really dig in. I mean, we definitely take full houses on as well. But sometimes there's a getting to know you sample project involved, and we get that, you know, that's definitely a reality.
And like, we've seen people who come to us with like, I've got, Sarah, I've saved forever. I would love to work with you, but I only have, you know, 10, 12, 15, $20,000 to create this space. And I've seen the level of design you do. Can you do that for me? And it's like, I can, but it's not going to be in the same method that, you know, our full service experiences, but we'll start at concept. And if you like that, then we can keep going if you want. But sometimes I just know that, like, you don't try to shove all your clients into your full service.
Right.
You don't, not everybody is that, but you can still get the furniture sale and you can still help that client in that moment and still make the money. You know, sometimes we find that our small fries are just as profitable as our big, you know, 1-year projects. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I love that. And it's great for cash flow too, to just have some things that are just quick and moving along.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Such good stuff. All right. So I love, give you a little bit more. I love your phrase, showing up is not enough. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So it's something that I had the first thought of when I went to like networking events. So innately, I'm kind of introverted. I get exhausted from going to places where I don't know anybody. I usually stick to the one person I meet first, and that's not like, I'll be attracted to somebody who I come to find out don't have anything in common, but like I clung to them so much in the beginning that I'm like, oh my God. So what I realized is in a couple of those moments early on when I was doing those networking events, that like, had I done some research and prepared a little bit more about who was coming and, you know, what I could do to benefit from that meeting, I probably would have had a little bit less anxiety and I probably would have been more successful. So that mindset came from like, you can't just show up to something. Like it'll be what it is if you just show up. So if you go to the gym with no plan, you might end up on the treadmill. Maybe that one's taken, so you end up doing the bike, you know. So it's like you can show up and you can have certain levels of success for that. But I think if you want to be excellent at what you're doing, and if you really, really want to be exceptional at what you're doing, then there's that legwork in the beginning that continues to serve you as you're showing up. And I found that the people who were really amazing, that I truly admired, whether in this industry or any business professional, they were always prepared. And even as a teacher, I used to tell my kids, the test isn't hard if you studied for it. You know, the test is the only difference between a test being really easy and really hard is how prepared you are for it. And so, you know, you'll get half the class who said, oh my God, that test was so easy. And then the other saying, oh my God, that was so hard. And there's no difference. I taught you all the same thing. So it's that, what are you going to do to prepare when you get in front of that client? You can't just show up to the consult, be like, hi, I'm your designer.
Right.
And they're like, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? You know,
I think I tried that early in my career.
Oh, you know,
hey,
hi,
we're
I'm
just
here,
gonna talk.
You know, you got there on time. You dressed, you know, appropriately. You brought your phone, all the things you need. But then you realize sometimes that still happens. I'm like, I don't know anything about. I didn't reread their questionnaire before I walked through the store today. I can't remember what she wants me to do. So here I am, like trying to like find it in my brain. Where when you prepare, you are just that much more successful. And in my design firm, I've never wanted to be average. I've never wanted to just make an okay amount of money. Like I never wanted to just make my clients like sort of happy. You know, I wanted to create amazing designs and with clients that were just over the moon, and I want to make a buttload of money doing it. And so
I love it.
I had to really just kind of figure out how I was going to prepare for that to happen. Because my first year, not preparing didn't happen.
Yeah, incredible.
So
Well, and also incredible that I mean, you know what the work was because you did your own house and that it turned out so well. And so,
right.
but just because you have talent and natural, the vision for design does not make a business, right?
No,
And
no.
that was your transformation from
Right.
great eye, able to execute, to an entrepreneur. Like there's a difference, you know?
Yeah.
It's a
And
big
there's that
leap.
moment where you have to decide, you know, do I want to show up at my friend's house and just help her pick her wallpaper, you know, and that's super fun. That might fulfill me after the year of struggling that I had. But I knew that like one of my goals was very financial. So, I wasn't going to reach that goal if I didn't change something. And so I knew I had to do that research. It was painful. I mean, there were so many moments where Luann was like, how are you going to do that? And I'm like, I don't know. And she'd be like, it's just not going to happen then. You know, like you have to prepare for that. You have to have your processes. You have to have your systems. And it wasn't until I was like really bummed with how bad I was doing that made sense, you know? And I think you know that, and that's why you created the standard. And I think, you know, that's why we both are so willing to share our journey, because it's just, there's so much you don't have to suffer through.
Totally. Yeah. And that was my feeling, like, and there's also this part of me that was like, we like have learned every one of those hard lessons, like each individual little aha moment, and the way that we structure and the way that like, it's so hard to say the big number up front, but just do it and bite the bullet. And that came from the real and true pain of having clients very unhappy because they were in over their head financially. And I didn't realize that I had the ability or the obligation to educate them on how much this was all going to cost from the very beginning. In the beginning, I didn't realize that I could figure that out for them, and that you know, that's my job, because that is not what is taught in design school, right? Or in whatever. I mean, I didn't go to design school. You know, I studied design at Parsons after, but my degree is not in design.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go to a full 4-year design program. But that is not taught. It's not part of the program, and it is an obligation. Like it is really, it's the first path to any true success in the project. And success meaning, and I always talk about joy and efficiency, and efficiency is money, right? The more efficient you are at executing the design, the more money you keep in your pocket, right? And then the joy, and that is the soul crushing rocking under my desk in a small ball that was missing. Because when you are in strife and you are disappointing people and things aren't happening when, you know, if you don't set a timeline, I mean, it's a lot. Today we had a potential client call, and you know, how long is it going to take? And I had to say a year. It will be a year before your home is how you want it to be once we start, and with a renovation, obviously. And you know, I can imagine the former, you know, the old Sandra being like, well, you know, we'll figure it out when we get, you know, let's talk to the contractors. Like, I can imagine just kind of like not being able to say it. And the client went, oh, okay. You know, it's like they are a little like taken aback, but then it settles. You are the person who is supposed to be educating the client on that. That's your role. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I don't have anything.
I know. Where's your drink?
I know. I'm so sorry. I sat down. I was like, shoot. We have a big presentation tomorrow, so I probably should be drinking too much.
Yes, you probably have to get going. I know. I'm going from this to being driven to a soccer game. So
nice.
I think this is fine for the sidelines. A little champagne before I sit on the sidelines.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Okay, Sara, tell everyone where they can find more about you, and I think we're gonna wrap it up, because again, this soccer mom's got to go get. I'm sure there's a uniform I need to go find somewhere.
Oh my God, rummaging through the dryer, just trying to find that other sock. It's
the other shin guard. You know the whole thing.
Yes, totally. Too well.
Yes.
Yeah, so Sara Lynn Brennan is our Instagram account. And then saralynbrennan.com is there. I encourage designers to just look at the way we offer our services. It is different. We offer on packages, flat fee packages at that. And so it's different, but it really works. And so we have those two platforms. I'll be in the book with you and all the other co-authors. So lots of things coming with Luann, and we will be launching our own coaching platform very, very soon. So
Awesome.
anyone interested in that should just keep an eye out for that to come within the next couple of weeks. We've been working on it for a while.
Coming up soon. That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So fun. So fun. I love it. Of course, I love sharing with other designers as much as we can, and that's awesome. And the teacher in you obviously is so suited to that as well.
Thanks. Yeah, I love doing it. I can't keep a secret. That's really the biggest problem. So once I learn how to do it, I have to tell everyone everything.
I love it. I love it. You guys go check out Sara Lynn's packages. They are truly beautiful and just so clearly laid out. And I love the whole thing. So good to see you, love. And I will see you at a million events because we're going to be doing a book launch soon.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah. And I will be collaborating with my Doma and doing a virtual tour of High Point. So we'll be doing Curry and Company's showroom. So anybody who wants to see what that's about, I think it's on the 16th. They just announced it today, but I know a lot of people can't make it to market. So check out what they're offering for their virtual tour. It'll be pretty
awesome. Oh, that's so good. All right, cool. I'll be watching because I will not be there this time, but I'll definitely check it out. Curry is one of my favorite showrooms. So
well, if there's anything you want me to show you, just send me a little message.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will see you soon. I'm Sandra Funk. This was Design Sips. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra.